Whew. Good morning. So no Brian today. He said he had an appointment. He had to go to, so. But we just got one job today anyway. Shouldn't be too bad. But we are also gonna go to a place called Broadway Total Power because they're having an open house today with like discounts on equipment. And I am going to get a 21-inch Honda and a power rake. I think they might have to order the power rake. So hopefully it won't like take too long for the power rake to get here. But they should have the 21-inch Honda in stock. Or the power rake that I want to get. They will probably have to order. And it is chilly today. Like Colorado can't make up its mind. Let's do summer and then pretend like we're back in winter again. Alright. I don't think I'll need this, but I will take it just in case. I should not need anything else. Yep. Should be good. Yeah, it is currently 42 degrees. This is the kind of weather that I would love doing spring cleanups in. Not almost 90. So yeah, when was it? Wednesday? You know, in Wednesday's video, how I met that guy and did the property walkthrough, and it, you know, it was like massive. So I ended up sending him his estimate last night. And like, I had my cleanup at $2,050 because the scope of everything, all the pine needles, like the thick layer of pine needles, the pile of leaves that were like left there, it was like a foot thick. The size of the property, and you know, just like the scope of everything, I fully expect me to be there like at least a day, if not maybe a little bit more. So yeah, I gave him a estimate for mowing, and I came in at 165 because I ended up taking measurements of his property, and I came up with about, based on what he showed me when we did the walkthrough, I came up with about 21,000 square feet of mowing area. And then, you know, I added core aerating, fertilizer, monthly fertilizer applications. Overseeding was expensive. I don't expect him to do that. It was like, overseeding was like $2,500. And then like monthly weed spraying was, I think, like $425. Core aerating, I think, was like gosh, I want to say like, well, it's 50 times 2.1, so like $1,000. And yeah, so mowing, aerating, fertilizer, seeding, weeding, cleanup. So yeah, like, it's 2026, guys, and he emailed me this morning. He wants the spring cleanup, and I think I don't specifically remember this, but he asked for like the discount on the spring cleanup, and I want to say, because I have a faint memory in the back of my mind, that I did tell him that I could probably bring the price down a little bit because we would be there for so long. Like, I fully expected to be there. When I was there, I fully expected to be there for half a day. And then, I recorded that video on my phone, and I watched it back, and just like looking at everything, I'm like, okay, it's actually going to be, I think it's going to be probably quite a bit more time than that. So since we would be there for so long, and we wouldn't have to worry about driving to the next one, unloading, doing that, driving to the next one, stuff like that. I vaguely remember mentioning, I could probably do a little bit of a discount, which I'm okay with, like, I could do that one cleanup all day and maybe have it spill into the next day, and it would, I don't know, take me 4, 5, 6 other jobs to, equate what that one is. So, maybe coming down, I don't know, 150, 200 bucks. But he emailed this morning, saying that Mr. Phan, and it's a Vietnamese name, Phan, charged him what did he say, $400 for a cleanup, and $60 for mowing. So yeah, he was just like, just to let you know, here's what, Mr. Phan charged me. Which, like, that's cool for Mr. Phan, but like, I think a lot of Vietnamese companies just try and come in at a cheap price and just get as many as they can. And they work from 7 a.m. until it's dark, and just try and make a bunch of money by sheer volume. Because there's no way that a yard like that would be $60 to mow. Like, there are several trees that need to be trimmed around. Like I said, the property's like 21,000 square feet. There's like a step up on one of the parts, like in the backyard, kind of over by where the pool is. So like there's just no way that would be $60 in 2026. Like $60 like 10 years ago, okay, I could maybe see that. But honestly, like 10 years ago, like if I had a property that big, like I would probably still be like $90 to $100. And then the cleanup, you know, he said Mr. Fon charged him $400 for a cleanup. Well, if Mr. Fon did a cleanup in the fall, I don't think they did, but if they did, and left all those pine needles and all that leaf debris, you know, it was a foot thick, leaned up like right against that stone little like mini wall. Like, okay, I can understand, you know, a $400 cleanup because you're just, one, you're not doing the full scope of work, and two, you're essentially hiding the debris, hoping it breaks down over the winter, and when it doesn't, you're left with all that matted together leaf debris. Like the amount of raking that we would have to do under trees, you know, for pine needles. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get where he's coming from, you know, like, hey, $60 to cut my lawn versus $165. Like, yeah, that's you know, $400 more a month. Like, that's a huge swing, you know. And he also said that, you know, he's looking to go with someone else because Mr. Fon retired and his son took over. And if I remember correctly, the potential customer complained about quality. So it's like, okay, you know, like, yeah, you can keep, you know, that $60 price, but, you know, you're going to suffer for it in quality. You know, they're just going to come in, go as fast as they can, not care if they tear certain stuff up or whatever. And, you know, who knows if they have insurance or not. You know, like if a rock goes through a window, or, you know, you accidentally, and I say this because I've seen YouTube videos of like epic fails, you know, so someone accidentally putting a mower in a pool. So yeah, you know, like I can't. You can't run a successful business, a successful, profitable business, cutting yards like that. For $60 and doing a cleanup for $400, like, I would make no money. Like, if that job took me and Brian, let's say minimum 4 hours. Well, all of a sudden now that's 8 man hours. That's what, that's $50 an hour? Like, I'm not getting out of bed for $50 an hour. Per man hour. Like, my per man hour rate that I want for me, because I know my worth, I know my value. Like, if you want the lawn care ninja on your property, like, you know, like, you're gonna pay a premium for that. Like, that's what that's worth. The actual owner of the business, the guy who started the business, who's been in the industry for going on 20 plus years now, like, that's what that is worth. And yeah, you know, my helper, who's, you know, just, you know, there for an extra set of hands and, you know, to help me out and, you know, maybe give like the shitty jobs to. Yeah, he's gonna be, you know, less. You know, maybe he could, like, I would not want him to be $50 an hour. You know, I think for my helpers, I try to aim for like 85 or 90 per man hour. One, because, you know, like, let's say you pay him $25 an hour. Well, you still have to pay tax, Social Security, FICA, whatever, you know, whatever it is. You know, if you have workers' comp, you still need to pay, like, you know, like, and if he does something on your insurance that you need to use your insurance for, like, that still needs to pay for that. I'm paying him, you know, to sit between jobs, you know, maybe an hour each day. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. And, you know, like, I don't want to take offense to it. Like, if I was in his shoes, like, yeah, I like, oh my gosh, why is this cleanup $1,600 more? Why is this mowing $100 more every week? You know, let's say there's 26 mowing weeks in a year, you know, mid-April to October. $100 extra, that's $2,600 more that he's paying. So I get where he's coming from, and, you know, I don't want to take it personally, and I'm not taking it personally. But, you know, like, I wanna tell him these things, but I'm not going to, and I do, but I don't, and I'm not going to, because if I were, it would probably come across as defensive, and I don't want to be defensive. You know, it's like, hey, I got 5-star reviews. I am not the cheapest. I don't want to be the cheapest. I could be the cheapest. But I live in Colorado, and it's difficult to be a cheap guy mowing lawns and, you know, still being able to, you know, pay for a truck payment, or, you know, buy my the 2 new pieces of equipment I want to buy. Like, you can't buy stuff like that when you're the cheap guy. Like, you just have no money. You have no cash flow. So yeah, I'm probably going to have, you know, ChatGPT help me out, you know, coming up with a reply, you know, that's like professional, you know, still, you know, courteous and friendly, you know, just, you know, saying, hey, like, I totally get that. Like, you know, it's a huge jump. But let me explain the value that the value, the experience, and the knowledge that you're getting when you're paying that. Because all that stuff is worth money. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble about that. We are coming up on the first property. So I am going to, I told the customer I'd be here between like 9 and 10, but it was chilly this morning, and to be honest, I didn't want to go out because it was cold. So yeah, I'm just gonna let her know that, you know, I'm here, and, you know, I'll get started. Oh, damn it, that chain was dragging. Is Brooke here?
Brooke's not here, but I'm her wife.
Oh,
so.
I just wanted to let her know that I was here. I told her I'd be...
You're going to do this?
Yeah, I told her I'd be by between 9 and 10, but
Yep,
I got
no
a little bit late of a start, so...
Okay, no worries. I'm here all day. So.
Okay, are the gates unlocked?
Let me unlock this first one.
Could you also do the alley? Because I might have to go through the alley to get my machine back there.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, thank you. All right. I'm all done, so you can
Okay.
lock up the gate if you want.
Great.
All right.
And then you just send us the invoice.
Yeah, I'll send it later today. I automatically charge the cars the next day for spring services, so it'll all be
Okay.
taken care of. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye.
And do we need to put the water in our...
I'm sorry?
Sorry, do we need to water our grass, or how does that work?
Well, Denver Water put in restrictions Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
You're not supposed to turn them on, I think, until mid-May
Got it.
for 2 days a week.
Got it.
But you can hand water.
Okay.
I would recommend, if we're not going to get rain or snow or anything within the next 7 days, to probably start putting some water on it, just because it's been so dry this winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will
All right.
do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah, last night I got such bad sleep. My nose was stuffy, my eyes were itchy, watering, runny nose. Just absolute miserable. I ended up taking some Benadryl, which helped, but then it was like, you know, what's the point in trying to go back to sleep? All right. We are on our way to Broadway Total Power. Yeah, that backyard, they used to have grass back there. And every single time I would go to mow it, that was like my first yard, Wednesday mornings. Every time I would go to mow that yard, it was soaking wet. Like really, really bad. Even my Turf Master was like leaving ruts. So then I eventually ended up just going back there with the trimmer and trimming the whole thing, because it wasn't that big. Basically where that jacuzzi was and the concrete pad right next to the garage, that tiny patch was grass. You can see videos. I think they did it sometime last year. But yeah, you can see videos on videos that I uploaded on Thursday, because my Thursday videos are from Wednesday. But it's like the first mow of the day. And I don't know if it was like they just had their sprinklers going off like crazy, or if it was just like real poor drainage issues, or even both. But then she ended up, saying that they were going to redo their backyard and that I don't need to mow the backyard anymore. So I was a little relieved. Also, because my minimum charge is $44. So, for that front and back, that's what I charged. And then when she said to only do the front. I was like, okay, but my my minimum is 44. Would you like us, to blow the whole back patio, of dirt, debris, leaves, whatever, just to clean it off for him? And she said yes. And then she wanted me to actually like come inside their house, and I guess in the backyard or on the backside of the house, they have a balcony for, I guess, maybe like their main bedroom. And she wanted me to come inside the house and blow off that balcony. And I'm like, I can do that if you want, but like I'm gonna be dirty. Like I'm gonna be walking there with like through your home with a gas powered blower. Obviously, I would turn it off. I wouldn't have the backpack blower going on when I ran that red light. Oh well. I wouldn't have the mower on while walking through her house. But she was like, yeah, that that's a good point. I'll just buy a battery powered one and do it myself. And I was like, okay, like I'd love to help you out, but being a nice house, like I don't want to track in grease, oil, gas, grass, whatever, So since we only do that front, I don't even blow the backyard because they have locks on their gates. So I just do that front yard. It takes, like, when it was me and another guy, like, it took us, like, seriously, like, 3 minutes to do. It took us more time to get out of the truck and unload and start the equipment because it was the first yard of the day. So, the equipment's cold. Than it did to, like, actually mow it, trim it, and blow it. And she was fine with still paying 44. She was like, she's like, okay, yeah, like I want you to make money and be profitable and all that stuff, so that's fine. And I was like, okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Because like normally, if there was a yard that like if it was a bigger yard and I charged her, like $60 because it was front and back, and it was, it was bigger, and they redid half of the backyard, or they took out the whole backyard and it was like just the front, and all of a sudden now it doesn't make sense to pay $60, then I would drop it down, to my minimum, 44. Like, that's what I would do. Oh man, I gotta take Allegra or Claritin. Freaking hate allergies, man. So my buddy Chris, who owns a lawn care business in Aurora, which is maybe like a 20-30 minute drive from where I'm at. So we're in different service areas. But he said his employee likes watching my videos. So I guess he's watching, my video right now. So that's pretty cool. So if, I think his name is Will. So yeah, if it is Will or William, whatever he goes by, shout out to you. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. I don't know if you speak English, but yeah, thanks for watching. Tell him to check out tomorrow's video for a shout out and his picture in the video. I should have turned there, but oh well. Yeah, Chris said William is the best employee he's ever had, and he's lucky to have him. So I would love to find someone like that. I think, but part of my issue, I think, might be is just, like not having like, a full schedule, like a full day, from like 7 or 8 a.m. until like 4. If I had that, I bet I could find, like a decent employee myself. because then they would get a full day. They would make more money. Like, it would be great. But see, my issue has been the past few years is, like, I've spent a lot of money. And the money that I have spent has not been on ads. Or, you know, like marketing. Last year I did spend, you know, a few $1,000s on postcards, and I made like no money back. It sucked. You know, so it's like my business has just been, you know, trying to rely on word of mouth and neighbors, and them seeing me, you know, at a yard, and, you know, them, you know, hey, can you mow my yard? But this spring I've been running some Google ads. I set my budget $25 a day. And I've definitely been getting more inquiries. I don't know if it's been a direct correlation between my ads on Google and those people reaching out to me. But, you know, it's definitely been nice, you know, having, you know, some people, you know, reach out to me, you know, for service or whatever. I need a haircut too. Don't like doing cleanups and getting all dirty and dusty and stuff with long hair. So yeah, I'm excited for this Honda mower. I'm gonna be rocking the Honda this season instead of the Exmark Commercial 30. Because like I've said in past videos, since I've got the Standard B and the Standard X, I've used those mowers on, probably 95% of my lawns. And the Exmark Commercial 30 I've only used on 3 or 4, maybe 5 yards total. So it'll be interesting to see. Oh, darn it. I can't turn right. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how busy Broadway Total Power is. Looks like it's busier than normal.
I know, man. All my guys that work here ate already.
Well, just that's what it's worth, okay?
You get one?
Yeah. You get enough? You know, go to 7
I'll
Eleven.
flash your line.
I'm gonna go race.
I need to buy whatever
What's the phone number? Those may not be in the brand.
So what would,
Which would be kind of hard for it to
yeah, steel
like it'd just be that
brand
one
new
just
steel.
brand together with the nut on top and then there's a spacer. So that friction right here between the two blades, plus your blade will probably do that. So it's probably a design feature. That's something to check out.
Those are called jokes. Come on, Scott.
Yeah. Again, on these items here, I'm almost positive these are going to go to finance.
Yep. Trash is trash, baby. Put it on Uncle Sam's. Tag. Make it favorite.
Hey, Kim, pay more.
You guys sound like medieval. Oh, that's a pretty deal. Is that the gladiator weaponry on the left hand?
No, that's on the other side.
Other side.
The other side's where all the gladiators.
Nice. Now, wait a minute.
Schneider is cunning. So is actually
Scott all you the same and LL sold business, right? And so with that happening,
You want the whole rest of it?
LL now we're taking control. So we all vote.
This guy was your boss.
He was my coworker. He was my captain. He was my mentor. That's what I call him. Scott was the boss. He was my mentor.
You realize this guy is so damn wise, he didn't have to say a word.
Well, I heard that he called the coin toss.
He didn't do it. He didn't do a damn thing. He just sat back and collected the check.
500 for that, forget that.
It's gonna go right to your ass, Scott.
110 for the line trailer for the shit out.
Hey, what are you doing up here? Bud? Get to that.
You gave it up? Nope. Why you give it up?
Big blows to Jim.
Remember, I told you to go to Lifetime.
So you guys are brand new business?
We're it's our opening day, and no, I'm kidding. Are we a ready business? You ever heard? Yes, sir. Scott, we're worldwide, galactic.
Yeah,
Who's calling you Scott?
Scott's the other guy that.
Oh, this guy's.
That's mine.
That's kind of the three that I have.
No, that's mine.
Don't tell me that Scott's name is Mike. Now it's Mike. Our business. 3 years.
Were you installation before?
I was selling axe blasting machines for cellulite for an aesthetics device company. And then my wife and I thought, let's go from making $250,000 a year to $30,000 a year, putting a business and take on a bunch of debt.
Really?
We started taking on today. So it's been 3 years.
We're like throwing a Ziploc bag with some lithium, just like work around. Yeah, needle bearings inside of that. Throwing in a Ziploc bag, working around and the thing delivers grease and air. That tube of eco grease on the bottom shelf of there, and then that tube. Yeah, man. Go over 2 bottles. Yep, bingo.
So let's just stand up and sit.
So any grease gun grease, pretty much.
I got plenty of it.
Yeah.
The standard color. Are you looking for the LGs? Are you sure about that or the range?
Yeah, because that's all right. Online, maybe it's getting a little hard to get out now. Okay, I need X amount.
Ahí para, nada más para que le llame cualquier cosa, pero ya probó la reparación de esa parte.
Sí, okay. Yeah, he said, he said that the bus said ¿qué es un walker?
Ready to go.
Sí, en cuanto la tengan lista le hablan a nosotros. Dale, pues.
Vale, dale, echar un taco.
Órale, hay un poco, pero... You'll get the promotion price, which is a gallon. I forget how much it is. I gotta
get 20%. And like Tuesday rides? Something like a citation, like a
Something like that, but they use like for another. Did you say you were possibly interested in the fourth machine? Nope.
Oh, this guy's
Just
that the little hot
just because if we go through financing and I call him right now, they'll approve you for this, and if you decide for a fourth one, then you have to go through the process again.
Oh, if I do not decide like have like a slot, can it take away in the day today? How much are these days? 10,000 each?
I got you down to 9,279 for the 48 and 11,000. And who are we financing through? Is the other thing. So we can do either Sheffield or a Centennial cap. So the Centennial is generally better, but it does take a little bit longer.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, it's today, right? We just
Thank you.
today.
Actually, you get a better deal than Ray Blip.
Rain ain't working, buddy.
You good, brother?
Yeah.
So I don't even rush.
Want to see about getting a Honda mower and dethatcher, Billy Goat dethatcher.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if we have any Billy Goat dethatchers.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm not sure if we have any Billy Goat dethatchers.
I don't think you guys do. I think you guys would have to order it.
Okay. Do you have a specific model in mind?
It was one that was like 2100 or something like that.
We can order it, of course. We've only got some more.
These things are working.
But
Do you know the discounts you guys are running on those at all?
Yeah, you're gonna be getting
you get the promotional price, you'll just get shipped in from right online. We'll have you
Clint, Billy Goat's 15 on a dethatcher unit. 10?
No, Billy Goat 10.
10? Okay. Billy is 10.
Yeah, like a handheld trimmer blower. Not
So, and
I had a Centennial
and a hot dog.
It's like a huge line, and then I heard, I think,
3 to 48s this big.
Your phone number, sir?
Deal. That's
720
how does that work? Is it
771 1056.
it's all like annual?
So it's per purchase, right? So if you wanted to,
And you said you wanted the one that has the Honda on it, correct?
Well, I want a Honda mower.
Oh, Honda mower?
Yeah, one of
I was gonna
those
say,
ones
the Billy
over
Goat
there.
looks like it comes with a Briggs. It's $22.60 normally, and then we'll knock the 10%
For the
off.
Billy Goat?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's going to be $20.35. So $2,034. I don't know why I said 35. Can't read. And then,
Can you easily see what size that is?
yes, it is a
Like a 30 or 31, I think it was.
You're going for the PR551. I'm assuming the 20-inch, correct?
That's the tines.
Yes.
So the machine would
the
be
cutting
like
edge.
27 or something, probably.
Yes. It's
Okay.
so 40. So it's 26 and a half inches wide.
Okay. Yeah.
So cutting is going to be 20, but your overall footprint is 26.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then you said a Honda mower.
Yeah, one of those Hondas over there.
mower.
Is there a gas-powered one over there?
Yeah.
Or the battery?
Can I have you two just chat for a bit while I take care of this over?
Yeah, right behind the Toros.
Oh, yeah,
Right
let's go
there's
back there.
just
Sorry, I'm from it's from a different store. So
Excuse me.
oh, these guys right here.
It wasn't. It was the other one that didn't have this.
Okay.
If you know what I'm talking about, because I think this one's geared more towards like residential people.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, there's a blower kit, right? And that's like a blower bed.
Well, before we get you checked in, current lead time is 3 or 4 weeks on service. Okay. Just everybody's getting done right now, so it's quite a lot of time for us to work.
They only have one kind of HRX, which I would believe would be that one. There aren't any HRCs left over, and that's the only HRX that I can see. Lynn, are these the only Honda 21?
You have your driver's license on?
Okay, cool. Yep, those are the only ones then. Those guys back there.
So you can't order one?
I don't believe so. Honda's not making 21s anymore, right? What we have is what we have?
Yes.
61.
Well, shit.
Yeah, that's what we have.
What's the discount on those?
10% on Honda?
No moist. That's terrible. I've been talking to a few ranchers and
There's nothing on the Honda? 10? Okay.
How much is it?
Those are $9.89. So
They do the same thing. It's just
you're looking at $8.90 for one?
roughly the same price, yeah, 37.
All right, I'll get it.
You want to go with that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I would.
So that Billy Goat we're going to be ordering, and then the Honda you want to pick up today, correct?
I can.
Be best for them, so they're not.
Okay.
Again, I'm from a different store, so I'm not trying to cause them logistical headaches.
Email you a copy, or not a copy, a link to.
You don't have any of those other Hondas at a different store, do you?
No, at my store, all I have is Toro 21s with Honda
Okay.
engines. These are the last Hondas of all, because they're getting out of them.
So to give you an idea, standard tools,
Email it right now.
89 plus parts.
Just keep an eye out.
With a unit this whole, probably the blade most likely. With extra parts you're going to be throwing on, the blades, might be your belt.
Alright, guys.
I assume it's your belt that's doing it.
These are free, I assume?
Yeah.
Come on,
Your tires look pretty good. I think those will be all right.
Today, where it's going to be 3,056.
Yeah. And then, do you have an email on this? Okay.
And then the other things included in the tune-up, of course, cleaning sections.
So I have the link here. So what we can
Oil change.
do is just hop on my email here, and then go ahead and type this.
You guys had your open house last Friday?
We did.
That's where the door prizes were, huh?
And then besides
Don't
that,
worry, you
second
might maybe
price,
next week Wabash might have them. We don't know who has the door or the keys, but somebody's got a prize.
Right on.
Go ahead and sign for me. Okay. I'm always there. I got the keys for that place. They only let me out of the cage one day. Okay. That's fine. I'm there Monday through Friday 8 to 5, except for today. No problem, Ken. I'll see you.
Oh, attach file.
Right, so you want us to call you with an estimate on it first, and then we'll go from there. Regardless of what we do with it, we gotta charge you $40
And
for
then
the inspection.
I would just do C attached right there.
Here you are, sir. 521. And let me go. Send it out.
Yep.
It seems like we better.
I didn't think about it, but hopefully I didn't grab the one on the top.
That's our typical. Yeah.
Of course you did, Sean. Genius.
You want help?
Yeah, you want to grab the back, I'll grab the front. 1, 2, 3. A little bit more forward heavy than I expected. Alright. They will be in contact with you when that billy goat gets here.
Okay.
Alright. Anything
Thank
else
you.
we can do?
Obviously, we like it.
Real quick,
There was No bag or user manual. So I am gonna go back and get it.
Have a great day. You're fired. You're fired. I'm sending you home.
I figured instead, for all of our pockets, it'd be better if we just gave up on winter and sold it off to the Californians with our water. That's what I thought we should do this year.
With our water.
Oh, well, here it is. All right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, man. Yeah, no problem. Have a good one. Thanks, you too. I can help whoever's next.
Okay. So you guys just want to go with the trimmer tools.
Okay.
I just bought a mower from him, and the mower didn't have a bag or the user manual.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of mower was it?
That's that. It was
Honda
Hondas
21.
that are right there on the. Huh.
If you like, you can look around.
Do you have any Hondas that you're sure stuff? Nope.
Yeah, it didn't have a bag now that I think about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody snagged their bag. Which Honda was it? Did it have the style?
It was this style. He got it from right here.
Okay. And it had the same style handlebars and everything? Just rob Peter to pay Paul for now.
Thank you.
No problem.
It says hi.
If the body holds out and feet don't wear out.
I really wanted a burger, but oh well, I don't want to wait 15 minutes. All right, guys, I'm gonna eat. So we'll be back in just a little bit. All right, guys, so we are almost back at the shop. And yeah, I'm excited to have that Honda. I do wish because they had two versions. The one I got is, the guy I spoke to last week said that one is more geared towards homeowners, I think he said. And the one that I wanted was more for like, commercial applications or like a business. So it's unfortunate that I didn't get the one I wanted, but it is what it is. And I had no idea. The guy said that Honda stopped making mowers. I had no idea that they stopped. Maybe they just realized that, it wasn't good business for them, and, they should just stick to like cars and engines, So yeah, I'm not sure if I have the right kind of oil for that Honda. So when we get back, I'll look at the owner's manual to see what kind of oil they recommend and see if I have it. If I do, then I'll put some oil in it, put some gas in it, and fire it up for the first time. But if not, then I won't bother doing that. And from now until we start mowing, I'll go and pick up some oil. I'm really excited to use that mower. It's not as heavy as the X-Mark. I can fit it in, I should be able to fit it in all the gates that I need to. Which, like I said earlier, is, like 4 or 5 yards maybe. And then I won't have to worry about, that taking that 18-inch mower with me one day a week for one job. Alright, let's see. What they say. Oil change 13. $10W30. So that's compressor oil. Yep, 10W30. See, refill amount 0.4 liters. I don't think these have oil in them already. Well, it looks like it does. Just gonna double check that. Yep, it's got oil. And a little bit of gas. I'd imagine they probably did that because when they put them together, you know, they want to make sure they, you know, work properly. Ooh, a little bit too much gas. So it looks like there's no choke. crap, that's fast. Oh, that's fast. So the metal's breaking right there. So I think what I might do is get a steel plate so I can mount on this side. Cause yeah, that's gonna get worse and worse. And I've already had that redone once before. I want to go home and take a nap. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I don't know, I haven't ironed out my schedule for all of next week. I think the weather's supposed to be somewhat unsettled next week, so we might get some rain, and it's supposed to be a lot cooler. We might even get some snow later next week. So yeah, it's just that guy who I gave the $2,000 cleanup to, he said he needs it done by April 1st, which is next Wednesday. So when I get home, I'm gonna email him, like a reply, because he was, Mr. Fawn did it for, did a cleanup for 400 and mowing for 60. So I'm gonna reply to that, and if he goes with me, I'm gonna try and schedule that for Monday, because if it does in fact take like a day and a half, which is what I think it might, like that's worst case scenario, then I'm gonna want to get it done before Wednesday, April 1st. Hold on, I think I have to sneeze. Yep. So yeah, if he goes with us, that's gonna be Monday's video, and we'll just see what happens and how it goes. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Again, shout out to Will for watching my videos on his phone in the work truck. So if he made it this far, kudos to you. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below on what you think of the Honda mower. Let me know if you guys are excited to have me use that. Like I said, it's only going to be like 4 or 5 yards. So yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.